Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday as usual. Thank you for joining me for today. I am Coach Ray. Today's going to be a fun class. So, for today's class, we do have one long stick. Give me a quick second. My apologies. Now, with this one stick, we are going to get into some core drills. We're also going to get into a RDL drill. What we are going to need something for us to anchor the stick into. So with that RDL drill, we are going to add in a row or some kind of a pull. So that one's going to be pretty fun. So I have a squat rack here. This is going to act as just a wall. We're not actually going to use it for anything in particular. I'll also have a pad for us to kneel on because we are going to do some full kneeling rotations and lateral flexion spinal stuff at the end here. All right, so ready to get started? Let's do it. Okay, so since we are going to do some lower body, let's start with the feet and ankles first. Okay, so I'm going to take a shoulder width stance. Okay, I want my toes to be pointed forward. And what I'm going to do, I want the stick to be in line with my center line. Bottom of the stick is angled in towards me just slightly here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to lightly drive the stick into the floor and I'm going to squat down a little bit. Make sure that the pelvis is stacked under the spine. I'm going to lift my right heel up. I want to make sure all 5 toes are in contact with the floor. And then I'm going to bring my left heel up and my right heel drops. Good. Switch. Left heel drops. Right heel comes up. Bring the heels all the way down to the floor. Switch. Just warming up those feet a little bit. Good. Switch. Make sure you're breathing. Switch. Good. Switch. Switch. Good. Let's go one more and switch. Good. Back down and ease off. Okay. Now I want to kind of get into something a little bit more dynamic. We are going to do kayaking as we are pacing back and forth. Okay. However, I do want to actually focus on some rotation here. So I'm going to step back. So I'm pretty far away from the camera here. So I'm going to step forward with my right foot first. My left hand's going to be up. I'm going to drive that left hand through. I do want to make sure I rotate my spine to the right here, right? So we are rotating. So start with the right foot forward first, going right forward first. So step forward with the right, rotate. Right hand comes up and over. Step forward with the left, rotate. Good. Step forward with the right. Rotate. Step forward with the left. Rotate. Now we're going to go back. Keep it nice and slow, under control. Keep that rotation going. Excellent. Step forward. Good. Steps should be small and controlled. Back. Good. Let's go forward and back one more time. Should feel the spine loosening up. Should feel the shoulder blades loosening up a bit. Good. And ease off. Okay, so now we're going to get into the pelvis. So with this, I do want to go with the staggered stance. Okay, since we are actually going to be working on an RDL, I'm not going to can't really do it from a single leg stance. So I'm going to have my left foot forward here, right foot back just a little bit, but I'm not actually really putting too much weight on that back leg here, right? Majority of that weight is going to be on that front foot, all right? So I'm just going to go anterior posterior. My right foot isn't that far behind my left foot, and I want to make sure I get some weight on that left leg here. Now from here, keep my hands at roughly about chest to sternum height. I want to drive the stick down. Again, make sure most of that weight is in that front leg. I'm going to do a posterior tilt. Okay, should feel that right glute squeeze. Gonna ease off. Good. Posterior tilt. Squeeze the right glute. Excellent. Ease off. Posterior tilt. Keep driving that stick into the ground. Good. Ease off. Let's go one more. Posterior tilt. Good. And ease off. We're going to switch sides now. So I'm going to face forward so you can see what that looks like. Now, the reason why we're going staggered is just to prime for that single leg on an RDL drill later on. So, same thing. Drive the stick down. Posterior tilt. Squeeze that left glute. Ease off. Good. Keep driving the stick down. Posterior tilt. Squeeze that glute. Left glute should be firing here. Ease off. Posterior tilt. Squeeze the glute. Good. Ease off. Posterior tilt one last time. Squeeze that glute. And ease off. Okay, so now we're going to go with lateral tilts. I'm going to have the stick out to my side. So I'm going to have it to my right. I'm going to have the bottom of the stick in line with the pinky toe of my right foot here. Okay, my right hand's going to be roughly about shoulder height. Now, I want the stick diagonal away from my body, so basically right about 1 or 2 o'clock. This is just to get the lateral tissues turned on more. So, from this position here, feet about roughly shoulder width apart, toes are pointed forward. I want to drive that stick down. I'm going to do a lateral tilt. I'm going to bump my right hip up. Left hip should drop. So driving the stick into the floor about 30% tension, bump your right hip up. Should feel that right glute squeeze. Then I'm going to come back to center. Should feel the obliques turned on. Bump the right hip up. Squeeze that glute. Back to center. Excellent. Bump the right hip up. Squeeze the glute. Ease off. One more time. Bump the right hip up. Squeeze the glute. And ease off. We're going to switch sides here. The movement is very subtle, right? We're just connecting that entire chain. So, same thing. In the left hand, bottom of the stick line up with the pinky toe here. Drive that stick down about 30% tension. Make sure you squat down a little bit. Bump the left hip up. Back to center. Good. Bump the left hip up. Right hip should drop down. Back to center. Bump the left hip up. Excellent. Back to center. One more time. Bump the left hip up. Back to center. And ease off. Good. Okay. So now we're going to turn to the side here. We're going to stretch out the hamstring. And so what we're going to do as we do this here is we're going to kind of get into a little bit of a spinal extension. So I'm going to have my right foot forward, and I want my right heel about 1 inch or 2 in front of the line of my left toes. Okay? Keep this ankle dorsiflex, slightly bend that right knee. Now, the stick is going to be about 1 inch or so in front of my right foot. I'm going to have my hands at roughly about chest to neck height. Now from here, what I want to do, I'm going to keep my weight on that left leg mostly, and I'm going to drive my hips back, reach out with my hands. So we're going to lengthen that back line. So we're getting a stretch in the hamstrings. Also opening up that T-spine a bit. Try to get that chest towards the floor. Then I'm going to come back up to that tall position. We're going to go into it again. Drive the hips back. Reach out. Good. Come back up. Ease off. Let's go one more time. Okay. Now we're going to add in a rotation. So drive the hips back. I'm going to rotate the stick to my right. Good. Come back to center. Rotate the stick to my left. Come back to center. And stand up. Ease off. We're going to switch sides, so I'm going to turn forward here. So, same position, okay? Keep the ankle dorsiflex, slight bend to the left knee, right? Make sure most of that weight's on that right leg. Switch your hands, drive the hips back, reach out with the arms. Good, come back up. Let's go into it again. Drive the hips back, reach out. Good, come back up. Let's go one more time. Now we're going to add in a rotation. Drive the hips back, reach out. Good, rotate to the left. Back to center. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Come back up. And ease off. Excellent. Okay. So now I'm going to take the stick, place it up behind my back, on my shoulders here. And what I want to do is I want to go with a split stance. Take a pretty wide stance here. So right foot forward, okay? And you can play around with how far the distance of your feet are, okay? Now what we're going to do here is we're going to work on rotation. So I don't have it behind my mid-back in particular, so I got a little bit more freedom of movement. So with my right foot forward, back leg is facing straight, I'm going to load that front leg first. And I want to drive off that back leg. So I'm squeezing that left glute, driving that left leg into extension, and I want to get a little bit of a hinge here. What I'm going to do from this position here, with the stick across my upper back, I'm going to rotate the left end of the stick towards the floor, really trying to pull across with that left hand. Come back to center. Now I'm going to pull across with that right hand, so I'm rotating the opposite way. You want to make sure you try to keep that knee in line with your center foot. Come back to center. Rotate the opposite way again. Breathe. Back to center. Now rotate the left. Pull that right hand across. Back to center. Push up. Now we're going to switch sides, okay? So I actually go from a little bit to the side here, like so, okay? Left foot forward, right foot is back, okay? So remember, drive off that back leg, squeeze that glute, make sure that left leg is loaded, and then from here, same thing. I'm going to drive that right hand across. Good, back to center. Pull the left hand across. Back to center. Good. Pull the right hand across, rotate to the left. Good. Now I'm going to go to the left again. Rotate to the right, pull the left hand across. Good. Back to center. Stand up and come out of it. All right. Ooh, now we're going to get into the neck a little bit, get into stretching that front line here. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the side for this one because just to see how the setup is. So, feet are at about roughly hip width, toes are going to be pointed forward. I want to make sure that I keep my hips in extension, knees are in extension, and I want to keep my shoulders down. So, we're going to be tilting the neck up, but first we're pulling the neck into extension here. So, from here, both hands on the stick, okay? Feet about roughly hip width apart. Arms are straight, roughly about chest height. Lightly drive the stick into the floor here and squeeze the glutes. I'm gonna pull the chin back. I'll actually turn to the side here. Sorry. So I'm gonna pull the chin back, driving the stick down about 20-30%. Then I'm gonna tilt my chin up. Back down, nice and slow. Ease off. Let's go into it one more time. You should be feeling a big stretch in front of the neck. Might feel a little bit in the chest too. One more time, drive the stick down, pull the chin back like you're trying to create a double chin, and then tilt the chin up. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, back down. Ease off. Good, excellent. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. And yes, it will be on the Instagram. Awesome, so we're gonna get into the strength stuff. So now we're gonna start with the core drill first. So we are gonna need to be on the ground for this. So I'm gonna change camera angle a little bit. Okay, gonna be here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be driving the stick into the wall, and at the same time, we're extending the leg that's actually gonna be closest to the wall, right? So I'll actually turn the camera so it's a little bit more like this here. Perfect. So I'm gonna start with the stick going to my right side, okay? Now, your hands, you want it to be roughly about shoulder width here, okay? So we're gonna start off in that dead bug position here, okay? Keeping the hands locked out. Now what I wanna do from this position is I wanna drive the stick into the wall. So push with both hands and try to keep yourself from rolling over, okay? Push with about 50 to 60% tension. You should be feeling the obliques light up a bit here, okay? Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna extend my right leg out. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right leg back in. Still pushing the stick into the wall. Hold that position, let's go again. Extend that right leg out. Keep the ribs to the hips. 3, 2, 1. Back in. Excellent, let's go again. Keep driving the stick into the wall. Extend that right leg out. 3, 2, 1, back up, and ease off. Excellent. So, I'm gonna flip around. Now stick's going to my left. We're gonna do that same thing again. So hands, be roughly about shoulder width, okay? Get into the dead bug position, drive the stick into the wall, 60%. Make sure you're pushing with both hands here, okay? Extend that left leg. 3, 2, 1, back in. Keep pushing. Lift that, extend the left leg out. 3, 2, 1, back in. One more time. Extend that left leg out. 2, 1, back in. And ease off. Good. Okay. We're now going to shift gears into a different core drill. So we are going to be on our knees. So if you need to have a pad here, be a perfect time to grab one. So I'm actually going to use this as if it's a corner of a wall here. We are going to do, which is kind of similar to an ab rollout. So the distance between you and the wall, it really varies, okay? But the stick is laying on my shoulder here. Grip wise, I'm gonna grip with both hands, okay? And when I extend out, I want my hands to be roughly about face height, okay? Just makes it so I don't actually go forward as much here. So, it is important to make sure you're driving your feet into the floor to activate the front tissues here. So, drive the stick into the corner here with both hands. Drive both feet into the floor. I'm going to slowly push my hands towards the wall. Get to a position where I feel challenged. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. Okay. As we're coming up, we're pushing ourselves up. Okay. So I'm going to create a little more of a challenge. Lower my hands a bit more. Okay, let's go 2 more here. Drive the stick into the wall. Drop those feet into the floor. Drive those hands towards the wall. Ribs and hips. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back up. Excellent. Let's go one more time. Okay. If you like, you can lower your hands even more. Okay. So, squeeze the glutes, drive those feet into the floor, drop the stick into the floor, extend the hands out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. Good. Okay. Kind of going through that one a little quick here, right? So, we're now going to move into the RDL. So, this is going to be, sorry, let me bring the distance up here a little bit more. So, now, I'm going to be using this if it's a corner here. So, the objective, we're actually going to be a little bit explosive here. Meaning that when we come up, we're going to fire that right or inside leg up, okay, into that hip extension or hip flexion position, and then drive back into that hip extension, okay? So as we do this RDL, when we get to that bottom position, I do want you to create some tension on that posterior line by pulling that hand up towards the hip, all right? So I'm gonna have my right hand right about where my hip is. Left hand's actually gonna be at the end of the stick here. Adjust your position as you need to. But at the top here, I wanna make sure that my left arm is straight, okay? Now, what I wanna do from here with both hands, drive the stick back behind me. I'm gonna bring that right knee up, and I'm gonna slowly go into an RDL, okay? Get down to that bottom position, drive that right heel back, keep pushing the stick into the wall, and I'm gonna pull up with the right hand, reflexively pushing down towards the floor with the left. Good, ease off that tension. I'm gonna come up, hold, go back into the RDL again, pull that right hand up, should feel the lats, upper back engage a bit. You might feel that glute contract more. Good, ease off that pull with the right hand, come up, hold, back down, good. Get to that bottom position, driving the stick down with both hands, pull up with the right, good, ease off that tension with the right hand, come up, and ease off. Good, we're gonna switch sides here. Okay. So, left hand, right about where the hip is, right hand's extended, holding at the end of the stick here. Make sure that right foot is active. So, push the stick back with both hands. Bring that left hip up. Go back into that RDL. Good. Pull up with the left hand. Good, ease off that pull. Cool, lost balance, come up. Good. Go back down. Pull up with the left hand. Good, ease off. Come up. Good, one more time. Extend that left foot back. Pull up with the left hand. Push down with the right. Ease off that pull. Come up. And ease off. Good, excellent. Sorry, that was actually pretty challenging for me today. Hard to keep that balance here. Gonna scoot back a bit. Okay, so now we're gonna get into some hip abduction with hip flexion here. So, we can't do this with one stick. Move this over a bit. So, I'm gonna stand here. Gonna have the stick out to my right. Now, the distance is gonna vary, okay? So it always depends on your mobility here. So, the first rep, we're just gonna drive our foot into the stick just to get those hip abductors warmed up. And then we're gonna start off by bringing the foot up the stick here. So, stick is in line with my midfoot, okay? My right hand's at about shoulder height. From here, drive the stick down. Good, about 50 to 60% tension. I'm gonna bring the outside of my right foot to the stick and push. You wanna try not to change position of the spine. You don't wanna find that you're leaning over. Drive that foot into the stick. Should feel that glute activate, the lateral tissues activate. I'm gonna ease off and relax. I'm gonna move the bottom of the stick out about an inch or two. And now we're gonna do that again. This time we're gonna slide the foot up the stick. So this is where it gets real fun. So, drive the stick down, about 60% tension. Bring the right foot to the stick, push, okay? Make sure you're keeping your knee open and out. So, I'm gonna slide my foot up the stick. Push. 3, 2, 1. Back down. In and ease off. Good. You should be feeling that left glute activate here. Okay, let's go again. Drive the stick down, 60%. Bring the right foot to the stick, push against the stick. Good, slide that foot up. Keep that knee open and out. 3, 2, 1, back down. Ease off and relax. Switch sides here. Okay. We're gonna do that same thing. Drive the stick down. Bring the left foot to the left stick. Push. Keep pushing the stick into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. Let's move that left stick out a couple of inches here. Okay. Same thing. Drive the stick into the floor. Bring that left foot to the stick. Push, push, push. Bring that left hip up. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Ease off and relax. Oh, my right leg is cramping. All right, one last time. Okay, drive the stick down. Left foot to the stick, push. Bring that left hip up. Keep contact, keep pushing against the stick. 3, 2, 1, back down. In and ease off. Good, awesome, perfect. All right, now we're gonna get into the cool down. So, like I mentioned earlier, we are gonna get into doing some half kneeling spinal rotation and flexion. So, if you have a pad, if you have a pillow, that'd be perfect. So from here, I can go forward a little bit more. I'm going to go to a tall kneeling position. I'm going to have the stick behind my mid back here. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually sit down into it, okay? You can have your ankles dorsiflexed or extended so you can sit a little lower, typically whatever's most comfortable for you. So, I'm going to go with both ankles extended, and what I want to do from here is I'm going to rotate side to side, bring the stick in front like so. Now when we do that, we are going to pull the stick apart to get some upper back activation here. So I'm going to hinge just a little bit, right? And I'm going to rotate the right end of the stick towards the floor in front of me, place the stick down, and I'm going to pull the stick apart. You're going to feel a lot of activation at posterior chain here. I'm going to ease off that tension, come back to neutral. Now I'm going to rotate the left end of the stick in front, pull apart. Good. Ease off, come back to center. Let's go 2 more each side. Rotate the right end of the stick forward, place it down, pull apart. Good. Ease off, back to center. Left end of the stick comes down, pull apart. Good. Ease off. One more time. Rotate the right end of the stick down. Try and get further across if you can. Pull apart. Ease off. Back to center. Rotate the left end down. Pull apart. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Come back to center. Come straight up here. So the good thing about that particular drill, you can't use your lower back as we do that here, right? That was one of the reasons why we did that. Actually, the main reason. So, keeping the stick behind the mid back, we're now going to work on lateral flexion. Good thing about being in this position is we can actually use the stick as a way to know how much range we're getting. So, from here, I want to keep my hands stretched out. Now, I'm dorsiflexing my ankles, so I want my big toes into the floor. Okay, I want to make sure I'm staying up nice and tall. Keep the ribs down. Squeeze the glutes. Okay, so from here, I'm going to laterally flex my spine, and I want to try to touch the right end of the stick to the floor. Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to laterally flex to my left. I want to try to touch the left end of the stick to the floor. Good. Come back up. Laterally flex to the right. Touch the right end of the stick to the floor. Back up. Laterally flex to the left. Touch the left end of the stick to the floor. Good. One more time each way. Laterally flex to the right. Good. Back to the center. Laterally flex to the left. Good. Ease off and relax. Okay, so we don't need the pad anymore. So what I do want to do, I want to get into a little bit of flow. So we are going to flow in and out of the monkey hang into the bow and arrow, okay? That was going to be a little interesting. So, since the stick's going to be on the right side first, and so we're going to transition from the hang into the bow and arrow, okay? And we're just going to try to keep it going as smoothly as possible. So the first one, we'll kind of do it a little slow, just to make sure we get the movement going here. Now, I want the stick, so I want both feet to be roughly about within side hip width, okay? I want my right hand up high, okay? What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to place it across my left foot, and I'm going to drop into a hang, place my left hand on the stick, hold here for a couple seconds. Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to transition my right hand down to where the sticker is. Left hand comes up and over. Drive the hips away and extend both hands out. Hold for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to transition back. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. So we're going to do that again. Okay, left hand's on the stick. Get that balance. Good. Come up. Right hand slides down. Left hand comes up over the top. Extend the hips out. Good. Right hand comes up again. Left hand comes down. Back up. Transition that right hand down. Left hand up over the top. Hips away. Extend. Good. And ease off. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. Okay? It's a relatively easy flow to do. So, left hand's up. Okay? Right hand on the stick. Left foot comes across. Good. Come up. Left hand comes down. Right hand up and over. Drive the hips away. Extend. Good. Come back in. Left hand comes up. Right hand on the stick still. A little bit of assistance. Come up. Left hand down. Right hand up and over. Good. One more time. Left hand up. Left foot comes back and behind. Good. Come up. Right hand comes up and over. Extend. And relax. Good. Now I actually want to get into stretching out the shoulder, chest, and biceps. So I am going to move the camera over to here. Okay. Now, again, this is something stable for us to push the stick into here. So I want to have my hand, you can have it at the end of the stick or you can have it more forward, whatever, however much room you have. So I'm anchoring the stick into the squat rack here. And I want to have my hand back behind me. So I do want my shoulder in extension. I don't want my shoulder to come up. So I want to keep that shoulder down best I can. What I'm going to do from here, I'm actually going to slowly walk forward, okay, until my shoulder's back in extension pretty good here. Now from this position, I want to keep my arms straight. You should be feeling a stretch in the shoulder, okay, the bicep a bit, all right, keeping that shoulder down. Now what we're going to do, we're going to rotate our head to the right. Good, I'm going to bring it back to center, and then I'm actually going to tilt my chin up and back, in which you'll get an increased stretch on the shoulder. Then back down, rotate your head to the right, back to center, and then tilt your chin up and back. Back to center, and ease off. Now we're going to switch sides, okay? So we're going to do that same thing. Make sure you're set up in that same position here, okay? Walk forward until you find a pretty comfortable stretch. This shouldn't be a 10 out of 10 stretch. It should be more like a 5 or 6, okay? So from here, arms straight, keep that shoulder down. Now, rotate your head to the left. Keep a full grip on the stick. Back to center, chin up. Back to center, rotate to the left again. Good, back to center, chin up. Back down and ease off. Relax. Good, awesome. So now we're gonna finish off with another rotation drill, okay? So, I'm gonna have the stick still pressed to the corner here, and I'm gonna have both feet forward. So I want my feet roughly about shoulder width apart, okay? Toes forward. I wanna have my right hand up. So in terms of distance, again, it's gonna vary, okay? So right hand up at the top of the stick. I'm actually gripping over the top. I don't have a rope grip. And so what I wanna do from here, I'm going to hinge back, okay? Slowly keeping my right arm straight. The stick should be coming towards my rib cage. So the more I hinge, the more of an angle it creates on the stick here. So not only am I getting rotation, but I'm also, again, stretching out chest, shoulders, rib cage a bit here. Reaching that left hand towards the ground, okay? Now what I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna bring my left hand across and grab the stick. Now I'm gonna drive with my left hand, drive the stick into the floor and even push with the right. Now I'm gonna get further rotation. I'm gonna ease off that tension a bit, return back to center, and now with this left hand, so driving the right hand into the floor, I'm gonna pull, create a reverse bow. So now I get a little bit more posterior chain activation. I'm gonna ease off, let go with the left hand, and I'm gonna come back up, okay? We're gonna do that again, and then we'll switch sides. So you can move closer to the wall if you want a little bit more rotation here. So I'm gonna hinge back, okay? Good. Get a good hang here. Take the left hand, place it across. Drive the stick into the floor with both hands. Get further rotation. Good. Ease off some of that tension. Keep driving that right hand into the floor. Pull with the left arm. Create a reverse bow. Good. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Let go with the left hand. Come up. Now we're going to switch sides. Okay? So I'll actually do it from here. Okay. We're going to do that same thing. All right? Left hand's up top. I'm going to hinge back. Good. Get that stretch. Make sure you're breathing here. Reach your right hand across. Drive the stick into the ground with both hands. Get a little bit more rotation. Good. Ease off some of that tension. Pull that right elbow across the body. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Let go with the right hand. Come back up. Nice. Let's go one more time here. One last time. Okay. Left hand is up. Hinge back. Get that hang. Make sure you're breathing here. Reach across with the right. Drive the stick into the floor with both hands. Really open up that rotation. Good. Ease off some of that tension. Pull the right arm across the body. Good. Ease off. Let go with the right hand. Slowly come up. And ease off. Perfect. And that, my friends, concludes today's stick mobility class. Thank you for joining me today, everybody. My name is Ray, by the way. And the gym is actually here in Campbell. So, hope everybody had a good class. Just wanted to go with one stick today. I'll catch you guys next weekend. Have a wonderful class. have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, get some sun. See you later.